You said this almost ended your life. Or you were just being figurative, or is this literally?
Literal.
How did that? I'm confused.
Fantasies about suicide.
You fantasized about suicide?
Every day.
Thinking
Meaning
about
that you
killing
attempted
myself.
it too?
I've never attempted.
Thinking about killing myself.
Okay, hold on, but
it's no secret. It's online. People kind of he talks about
it.
Yeah.
Sure, but it's news to me.
Yeah.
And that's important to me because in my line of work, I want to make sure that, of course, people have the sanctity of health, sanctity of safety of their own soma or body, and I want to understand more how this occurs, because I don't understand. I understand bullying because it's face to face, but this is some form of a metric and a comment that obviously is not just unique to you. This means this must be available and feelings shared by many.
By many, which is why so many people are committing suicide.
I want to learn about it though.
It's
Teach
why
me.
it's literally why society is going to only become more corrupt as we go older, and it's not going to be better. Social media is literally the #1 disease that we have here on this planet, and this is coming from a recovering addict on an addiction I don't speak about. So I just said that to say I understand that social media is a bigger disease than even my own addiction. Kids are being born as infants, learning to hold an iPad and maneuver an iPad. I know 2-year-olds that can open up YouTube, search Dora the Explorer, click that video, and spend the next 8 hours finding other videos at a young age. Now, you know this science better than I do, but as they're growing up now, any real-life problem that they deal with, any feeling of anxiety, fear, hopelessness, or whatever, is being found through the therapy of holding that phone, looking through the screen into this false world that doesn't really exist. We have lost sight of actual existence and found existence through these apps that we have created universes in.
My 6-year-old, Lexy's sister, is being affected by all that tablet bullshit.
And that's why I say she needs to go outside and be more creative.
Yeah, my 6-year-old Alan, my 6-year-old talks like a scripted line.
Oh, she's an actress getting all the lines from all the movies she's seeing.
Yeah.
She's like an actress though. She like reenacts.
Yeah, but she speaks.
Yeah.
I'm like
100%.
I'm like, Chloe, where did you get that from? Oh, Jimmy Jam cartoon. I'm like, you answered to dinner with Jimmy Jam cartoon lines, or whatever the fuck cartoon lines are. But it's horrible. And I told her she can't watch anything on the tablet for 2 weeks.
Should.
Yeah.
In ways, bullying online is worse than face-to-face bullying.
Absolutely.
Just because you'll have one person comment something and everybody else, there are 1,000 comments under it are just negative.
I was so angry at first when people would talk shit about Lexy.
My mom.
I wanted to fucking destroy. I wanted to like get on the line and be like, "Fuck you, give me your address. I'll
what would they
kill
say?
you."
What do they say?
No, they were saying that like
First of all, YouTube out of all social media, mostly YouTube is the worst because people don't really have profiles on YouTube. They kind of just like stalk on YouTube, or they're like us where we have channels. So like people on YouTube, you don't know who they are at all. Unlike Instagram, you can see them automatically, their face, you know, whatever their life is. But YouTube, everyone's hiding behind YouTube, so they'll literally say the worst, meanest comments on YouTube ever.
As a dad,
and then Facebook comes after that, and then Instagram comes after that. Instagram's a more like filtered kind of version of online social media, kind of like people are a little bit more nicer, a little bit more. But YouTube's bad.
So what's the worst thing you've gotten?
I don't know. You're a cum bucket.
Sexual shit.
But does it affect you?
But here's the thing.
No, absolutely not.
It doesn't affect you.
No.
But here's the thing. It affects me. And let me tell you why.
Yeah,
Even when I was making millions of dollars, $250,000 a month off of these views, I was starring in Hollywood movies, I would still be by myself in my bedroom reading comments about myself. My identity was found through the comments. I looked in the mirror. I no longer saw who I was. I saw what other people saw, and I believed it. My older brother, whenever I was depressed about this, would laugh out of love and say, Yusuf, all these haters are doing are putting more money in your pockets. Be happy. Who gives a shit what they say? I would say it's not that easy. Because as a person, let's say your mental state isn't as strong. You don't have positive affirmations around your life. You're a depressed recluse who stays in his apartment. I now have a chance to upload a video that's going to get millions of views and millions of people who don't even know me comment on it. I'm going to believe those comments if I choose to. The only reason I'm getting as strong as I'm getting now spiritually The only reason I see myself as being one of the most future influential spiritual teachers and motivational speakers in the world is because now I no longer have social media. Now I have a guy who I've hired to go through and filter out all negative comments. So if I ever do happen to land on my social media pages, my mind and my consciousness, my subconscious only sees good, so I think there's only good coming in because it has that much of a negative impact.
But there's a way to not, it doesn't affect me most of the time. So there's a way to have,
I think it's
that
different.
capability of
not
affecting
that's
you,
a
and then
blessing.
some people are, it's just.
Yeah, but Fousey, let me ask you a question. The first thing, because I'm a dad and a supplier and stuff like that, I'm just curious because you know I don't know shit about internet or whatever. How do you survive? How do you make a living?
Off of what do you mean?
Like, how do you
How
guys?
did I?
Not you. How do you guys? How do you social media people?
So,
that suddenly
okay,
quit how do you guys make a living?
I can do this as simply as answer it on such a level,
Simple,
or
yeah.
I can say this: it's the easiest thing in the world.
So what do you advise to other social media stars that don't want to be social
without
media
losing your sanity.
without using your sanity?
You can
right.
do whatever
Here's
you
exactly
want
what I
to
say.
get
Give him
money.
Here's what I
advice.
say.
Or
And
your
the
morals.
reason I'm actually trying to think of a way to post this as a YouTube video to people to say this.
Do it right now. Do it here.
YouTubers have begun to fake their entire existences online, and their fans believe it. So they fake scenarios in their lives that don't actually happen. They fake drama. They fake everything for views. They're living a false reality. But the issue here is, although they know they're doing it, their audience doesn't. So it's so damaging to these kids to see somebody go through something like a car accident, a house break-in, a breakup, and handle it the way that these YouTubers have manufactured it to be like they're handling it, but it not to be true. So I say instead of, because I've seen people fake stuff, it's funny, they used to shame me for faking pranks. But behind the scenes, I would watch the same people shaming me for faking pranks fake their real life vlogs. But they had a double standard in their mind as to why mine was wrong and theirs wasn't. But if they were to get exposed for it, which people have been recently on YouTube, instead of coming clean and saying, yo, it's true, I did it in the same way I did it for pranks, they defend it and they believe their own lies. So I think the best way to do it, if you want to choose to do it, is be true to you before you try to be true to the internet.
There's a whole internet, but people can make up things if they want because it's their,
100%,
it's their page.
they do.
If they want to make their own,
It's
acting
fake.
show.
I tweeted yesterday. I said, I left it very vague. I said, if only you knew what I knew. It's fake. It's all fake. And then in capitals, I put, it's all fake.
I was just saying this
All
story
fake.
to somebody yesterday. I'm trying to think what it was, and I used the Kardashians as an example. I said, these, like, I don't know what the hell it was, man, but it's like, everybody thinks they know them. You don't know shit. You don't know them.
You only know what they
Yeah,
show you.
they show you, right. You don't know who, you don't know their personal character. You don't know what they do alone at night with the camera off and their real personalities.
And
It's all fucking
if
fake.
you put 10 people in a room, let's say 2 of them being the biggest Kardashian fans, 2 of them being the biggest Kardashian haters, 2 of them being people who don't even know the Kardashians, they'll all have an opinion as if they know exactly who they are. They don't
that's
know
what I was
shit
telling you
about
also about Lexy. Like people don't realize, like, because she got famous, shaking butt and twerking and shit, like she's some kind of a hoe. But they don't understand that she lived with her dad until she was 27.
Can I chime in on this?
Yeah.
And sorry, Lexi. So me and Lexi were on a movie set together. We were friends. She's come over to my apartment to do a live stream. Me and Lexi have never even touched each other. But if you read what people said on the internet of what me and Lexi have done to each
they're
other,
together, yeah.
they're together. She's sleeping with him. He's doing this. She's doing this. She's a hoe. She's this. She's that.
And that
I've never touched her.
I want to kill people because it's unfair. That's social destruction.
But see, I know what I am. It doesn't affect me. It really doesn't affect me as much as
You've always been good at it.
Yeah, but the
though.
problem is, like,
it should destroy you. But you've
I-
always,
100%.
I've known her from the beginning. You've always been able. She literally doesn't give a shit.
Teach us. How do you do it?
Live with your dad till you're 27 and your dad's a
He wants to
dinosaur.
take all the credit here.
Teach us.
This
is important.
Well, first of all, yeah, my dad's fucking crazy, so he gave me the thickest skin ever.
Okay.
That's probably number 1. But I'm a very emotional person, so like, that's not cut off. But I don't know. I'm really based on like what I'm happy doing, and if I'm happy doing it, like,
Yeah, but you
no
also
one has to live
grew
my
up,
life
Lex.
like
Lex, you also grew up in a tough neighborhood with all men. You have 3 brothers, psychotic dad.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was that built me like that. I am.
Can
like
I
that.
chime in on what I think
Yeah.
it is about Lexi? So the reason I had such a trouble is because when I built FouseyTUBE, I was fake. It was a fake persona. I was doing fake pranks. I was doing fake things in my vlogs. So when people were hating on me, they never met the person you're speaking to right now. They've met that personality. Lexi from day one has been Lexi.
Right.
She's been real from the beginning.
Right.
So if people are telling her, you're a hoe, she's like, but I'm not. But if she was fake, a fake personality, and then they tried to damage that character, but she knew who she was as a real person, she would then defend it and be like, fuck no, I'm not. They don't know me. They don't understand me. But then why are you portraying yourself to them as that? Which is what I did wrong, which is what she did right.
Oh, I've
She's
always been very
she's
genuine.
always been a true artist.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she was doing her twerking, she knew what she was doing. When she changed to her music, she knew what she was doing. She sees her life despite what anybody tells her. She sees herself as a #1 recording artist, no matter how long it takes, on her own path. She's genuine, she's true online and in real life, which is what allows her to be so happy and not affected by it in real life. Whereas me, I go crazy because as they're calling me a manipulative liar, yada yada, the reason it affects me that they'll never understand is they're criticizing FouseyTUBE, a personality, not Yusuf Arakat, the human who was manufacturing all of that.